welcome all to All Things Podcast, where we dissect international events, where we discuss, analyze, and deal with it blow by blow. I want to thank you all for trusting us and for tuning in. We've been having some serious numbers from the previous videos. Thank you all for choosing us, and please do subscribe to the channel. Help us grow um, together in this YouTube platform. All right. Watching us from India, you're welcome. Watching us from the United States of America, you're welcome. We welcome all of you from uh, Asia, you're welcome. China, welcome. Russia, welcome. Wherever you're watching us from, you're welcome. Watching us from Iran, you're welcome. Venezuela, welcome. Africa, welcome. Thank you for choosing us today. Thank you. And we ended up yesterday promising that today we'll take a look at who is not, what is not the mark of the beast, or who is not the Antichrist, because the mark of the beast is often spoken of, but not understood by many. So a lot of us talk about the mark of the beast, but we don't really understand what the mark of the beast is, or who the mark of the beast, or who the beast is, and therefore what is the mark of the beast. So today we want to deal with that concept of who or what is not the mark of the beast. So this is what we are here to discuss today: who or what is not the mark of the beast. Like I said, in order for us to understand the beast, we need to go to the source. Welcome and thank you for joining us. In order for us to in order for us to understand the beast, we need to go to the source of the beast. So we talk about the mark of the beast, but we don't know where do we get the source of the mark of the beast. So the beast power, it's a power that is prophesied in the Bible, and the mark of the beast is not money. Many people believe that the mark of the beast is money. The mark of the beast is not money. Some believe that the mark of the beast is the digital ID or digital. That the mark of the beast is not that. So the book that tells us about the beast, it is the only book that can also tell us who the beast is and help us identify the beast. Let me welcome our audience. You are welcome. Be free to comment. Be free to comment. Thank you for joining us. I was saying that in order for us to understand the beast, when we talk about the mark of the beast, we need to go to the source that told us about the beast. That source must explain to us what the beast is. And when that source tells us what the beast is, then we'll identify who is the beast. Then when we've identified who is the beast, then we shall be able to know what is the mark of the beast. Are we together? So we need to go to the source that told us about the beast. And the source that told us about the beast, it must identify or give us identifying factors for us to know the beast. And it must show us who is the beast and what is the mark of the beast. It is not something that we should speculate upon. It's not something that we should be guessing as to what is the beast. Welcome you all. Thank you for joining us today. So we want to eliminate some aspects. Many people claim to know the beast, or this is the beast, money is the beast, that single man out there is the beast, and the mark of the beast is this. No, let's go to the source. The source will tell us what the beast is. So I told you that in this world, so far, we've had 7 world superpowers. All right. We've had 7 world, I mean, we've had that there are 7 superpowers. And then so far, we have had 6 of them. All right. 6 world superpowers. These are empires or nations which controlled the entire world. And the first nation was the kingdom of Babylon. It ruled the entire world. The second one was the Medes and the Persians. It ruled the entire world. The third one, it was the Medes and the Persians. I know the third one was Greece. It ruled the entire world. The fourth one was Rome, the Roman Empire. And then the fifth one, it was the Roman Empire when it infiltrated Christianity. All right. So the Roman Empire has two stages. It is first when they are pagan Rome, they don't acknowledge God, they worship idols, they worship their gods, they have nothing to do with Christianity. And the second stage of the Roman Empire, it's when it infiltrated the church and it became a papal power, it became papacy. And this is when the Roman Catholic Church is founded in order to infiltrate the church and control the church. So that is kingdom or world empire number number five. Then the sixth kingdom is the United States of America. So the United States of America is the sixth kingdom. And currently, the United States of America is the most powerful nation in the world. United States of America is the most powerful nation in the world. We know that. Nobody can dispute that. The United States of America is the most powerful nation in the world. In fact, is the superpower. No nation under the heaven can stand toe to toe with the United States of America. And what makes the United States of America so powerful? One of the things is that the United States of America has planted its military bases all over the world. In fact, in all regions of the world, the United States of America has military bases there. So America is kingdom number 6. In other words, after the United States of America, we're going to go to kingdom number 7. And that kingdom number 7 is the last kingdom. Then the end of the world comes. Let me repeat that. After the United States of America, we are going to the last kingdom or last empire. And that last empire or that last world superpower will be the United Nations. All right. It will be the United Nations. So the United Nations, all nations of the world will come together and unite, have one constitution, have one leader, have one army, have one police, have one all of. So the divisions that we currently have in the world will be done away with when the United Nations finally reach its goal. All right. France Vasculin says the Ottoman Empire did have also a huge impact. One thing is Satan, no empire will stay forever. You are correct, France. You are very correct. No empire will last forever. And this is where exactly we are. This is where exactly we are. That's why I mentioned that according to prophecy, we're going to have 7 kingdoms, okay? Then the end of the world will come. So the Roman Empire came and ruled the entire world. Okay, Robin Rosa says we used to have the United Nations. Trump got rid of that. Robin Rosa, Trump did not get rid of the United Nations. Trump pulled out of the United Nations. The United Nations still exist, but Donald Trump or the United States of America, they pulled out of the United Nations. And the reason being is that they cannot be inside United Nations because remember, United States of America is currently breaking international laws, right? Breaking international laws. And that is why also the United States had to pull out from the ICC, International Criminal Court. They pulled out of the ICC, International Criminal Court. Reason is because the United States currently, as it stands, it is violating international law. It is violating all the rules of the United Nations. And it is important for the United States not to be part currently, not to be part of the United Nations and not to be part of the International Criminal Court, so that the United States can be able to violate all the laws, all the international laws, all the rules of the United Nations with impunity, without any punishment, because the United States will say, I don't belong to these bodies. How can these bodies judge me? How can these bodies interrogate me? Because I don't believe in them. I have not subscribed to them. So this is where we are. Okay. So the United States is currently the second last empire or the second last kingdom, but it is not yet achieved its height of power. So for the United States to achieve its height of power, it needs to do what it's currently doing now in Iran. There are few nations that the United States has identified as danger to the success and freedom and prosperity of the United States. These countries were Afghanistan, Iraq, Libya, Syria, Iran, Venezuela, China, Russia, North Korea. You understand? And we can testify today that Iraq is gone, Afghanistan is gone, Libya is gone, Venezuela is gone, Iran is going. All right. So, of the countries that the United States had identified as its enemy to the progress, to the security, to the prosperity of the United States, only few remains. All right. Russia remains, China remains, North Korea remains. These are the threats to the United Nations, to the United States of America. So the United States of America needs to take control of Russia, needs to take control of China, needs to take control of Iran, needs to take control of North Korea. So what begins in Iran, it's the beginning of the end. Seram 76 says Iran is not going anywhere. Yes, Iran is not going anywhere, but at the end of the day, the United States will have a leader in Iran who is pro-America. That is the goal. That is the purpose of the war, is to have somebody in Iran as the leader of Iran to be in line or to submit to the demands of the United States of America. The war is all about that. So as a country, not that Iran will disappear. Iraq is still there. Afghanistan is still there. You understand? So it's about who is in the leadership position in those regions or in that country. So Iran is not going to disappear. It will remain, but Iran must have a leader who will bow down to the United States of America. Ayatollah did not accept the agenda of the Pope. Nicolas Maduro of Venezuela did not accept the agenda of the Pope. That's why Venezuela's president was captured. And that is why Ayatollah was killed, because he did not agree. All right. Well, ask yourself, why is it that the United States is the only country in the world that is bullying all nations? Winston Johnson asked a question, are you a Muslim? No, I am not a Muslim. I am not a Muslim. JCC 8399, Iran will never submit in front of the world's eyes. Definitely, Iran will never submit in front of the world's eyes. So what is going to happen? What is going to happen? What is going to happen is that at the end of the day, Iran will never say, "Oh, we're submitting to the United States." They will just have a leader that is pro-Israel. I mean, is pro-United States of America, and that will be the end of the war. Because right now, United States needs to control all regions of the world. They need to control the flow of oil, need to control the monies. They need to control all of this. And Iran says no. And big up to Iran. Iran is refusing. That's why Iran is facing the war it is facing. Because the leaders of Iran at the moment, they are refusing the agenda of the United States of America. They are refusing the agenda of the Pope. Iran, it's in the war today. But the United States, they are determined to have a leader in Iran who will submit to them. Abran, welcome. And welcome to all of you, and thank you for joining us. So Iran will not disappear as a nation. No, it will remain. But they need a leader who will dance to the tune of the global powers. So Iran said, no, I'm not going to be part to your global agenda. I'm not going to be part of your the things that you want to do. We are a sovereign state as the Islamic Republic. We want to remain the way we are. Do whatever you want to do. And then that's when the United States says, no, we need to take control of everybody. We need to come together. Remember, the United Nations has a goal and it has a purpose. And anybody who is a threat to that purpose and goal must be eliminated. So this is where we are. This is where we are. In Venezuela, they did not destroy Venezuela as a nation. They just removed the leader who was problematic. Venezuela is still there, but the leader is no longer problematic, or they're trying to silence them, to neutralize them, to take a neutral position. You understand? Not to be bold in rejecting, or saying like rejecting the agenda of the United States. So this is where we are. So the United States needs to take control of all nations of the world. The United States, and it will control the whole world, because that's what must happen. In order for us to have the true and correct United Nations, the nations today, they are part of these United Nations, but all the nations are not united, because you've got nations who are pro homosexuality, lesbian, same-sex marriage, and you've got other nations which they don't tolerate that. They will kill lesbians, they kill homosexuals, they do that. So currently, the nations are not united when it comes to these matters. But where we are going, when we talk about the end goal of the United Nations, all nations needs to speak with one voice when it comes to homosexuality. All nations need to speak with one voice when it comes to lesbian, when it comes to gays, when it comes to polygamy, when it comes to all the things that has to do with our morality. All nations must speak with one voice. And until that happens, the nations are not united. All right, the nations are not united, because United Nations says everybody have a right to be anything. You can marry a man as a man, you can marry a woman as a woman. That is United Nations. But some countries, some nations who are part of the United Nations, in their countries, they imprison you for being homosexual. They imprison you from being a lesbian, from being gay. Same-sex marriage is not allowed. So currently, as things stand, nations are not united. They're united in word, but not in deed. But what must happen? These nations must be united in deed, one principle, one agenda, one goal. This is where the United States of America comes in. All right. This is where, and welcome to Patrick video. Welcome, and thank you for joining us. So, yeah. So the when we say that the United States will destroy Iran, we don't mean like Iran will be wiped out of existence. No, it's impossible. They will not do that. And when we say they will destroy China, it is not to say that China will be wiped out of the earth. It is impossible, because they need the resources in China. They need the resources in Venezuela, like they need them in Iran. Fat Fox says, never will there be one voice nation, power control, one agency. Never. Yeah, you are correct. You are correct. You say never. But let me show you that as you look at things now, it may appear that that will never happen. But let me show you how that is going to happen. So all the nations who will resist this power and control will be dealt with. The leaders of those nations will be killed, just like they've killed Ayatollah in Iran. You understand? So never, these nations will not agree. But when they do not agree, when they disagree, then the powers that be will get rid of every leader in any nation who disagrees with this power. So it will not be a willful alliance. It will be coming. Some will lose their lives for this alliance to happen, for this unity to happen. It will be sealed with blood. So that's why they're gonna use war. What do you think the missiles are, the weapons are for? For war. They will get it through war. They will get it through war. That is why it is important to understand what is happening in Iran. It's because Iran refuses to be part of this global control, like Fat Fox says. So when you refuse, you are dealt with. What happens in Palestine? Palestine refuses Palestine refuses to be under the control of Israel. And because they refuse, they're being bombed, being destroyed. This is the strategy that is being used. And that's how the world is running. So if the world says we must go left, and some people decide, no, we're not going to go left, we're going to go right, those who go right will be persecuted, destroyed, eliminated by the guys who says we must go left. All right. Fate Fox again says never will only one nation under God, individual with liberty and justice for all. The national anthem for us Americans. Yeah, you're correct. You are correct, Fex 4. In writing, it looks that way. We know that the United States of America has been founded on two principles: separation of church and state. Okay, separation of church and state. The church governs its. The church does not influence the state, and the state does not influence the church. We know that's how it works. America government ain't playing with anybody, having say so over worldwide. Now, this is what is happening in the United States of America. The United States of America does not only control America, it controls the entire world. The United States of America controlled the entire world. It controls until the BRICS nation. All the monies that were transferred internationally, they were using the American system. All right, the system of money movements, it is American system. Until the BRICS nation came and they made their own transfer platform, but still the American system is the best, is the one which majority of people uses. Even though the BRICS nation, they have their own, but it is used between the countries, not the members of the countries. We still use all over the world the American system of banking and of money transfers. So because the United States control that banking system, should the United States of America decide that I want to stop all transfers for a certain nation, that is going to happen. They can stop it right there and there. So the one who controls the buying power, the one who controls the selling power is the leader. Because something that we all do, it's buying and selling. That's how we live. Buying and selling, buying and selling. And we need to be connected into this SWIFT system. And it's an American system. You understand that? So it may look like it is impossible for one nation to control the world, but already the United States is in control. That is why no country can come and say, United States, stop what you're doing in Iran, or else we're coming for you. No country can do that. China cannot do that. Russia cannot do that. No country can do that to the United States of America. And this is why we're saying that the goal, read Project 2025. There's a manual called Project 2025. You can Google it and you read, all the plans are there. All the plans are there. I'm interested mostly in page 92 of the Project 25, of the Project 2025, of Project 2025. It says, all right, let me take JCC. JCC 8399 says the anthem is for the US only. Other nations also have their anthem. Correct. Other nations also have their anthem. Fat Fox says America government ain't playing with anybody. All right. So yeah, American government, it is not playing with anybody, but American government is controlling everybody. That is a fact. That is a fact. American government controls everyone. That is the fact. Okay, that is the fact. Right. So here is a problem. Now, if it is correct that America is the second last kingdom, is the second last power, then the kingdom that will have power or will inherit power from the United States of America is the United Nations. therefore making the United Nations the last superpower, a global power. Once the United Nations takes over, then we're gonna have a one world government, one world religion. Right, fat folks, there. The anthem points out the America bow down to non-nation. Well, yeah. And do you know that when America was founded, they were running away from Europe, all right? They were running away from the power of the Pope because the Pope there was forcing everyone to toe the line, all right? And this is where our episode today will dwell much upon, all right? And I would like to ask you at this point to kindly subscribe to the channel if you have not yet subscribed. Thank you. Subscribe to the channel if you have not yet subscribed, so that when we come back again, you will be notified of our podcast. All right. Thank you so much for subscribing. All right. And I'm thankful for the comments. Thank you, Fat Fox. Thank you, JCC, for your engagements. It makes the conversation, okay, like as I was saying, so if it is correct that the United States of America is the second last empire or superpower, then the last one will be the United Nations. But what the United Nations is gonna do, they will need a leader who will be accepted by all nations. All right. So this leader must appear to have the best moral in the world. This leader must not have any scandal of rape, any scandal of anything. This leader must be loved by the entire world. Okay. So because all the United Nations must elect this leader, not only will the United Nations elect this leader to run the state, the nations, but this leader must also have the favor of the religious bodies, of the religious movement. Okay, so this leader will both be elected to be the leader of the nations and be the leader of the religion. All right, this is where we come to one world government and one world religion. So you're going to have one leader who is both the leader of the nations and the leader of the religions of the world. And yesterday we mentioned that we have the World Council of Churches, World Council of Churches, and we mentioned that in the World Council of Churches, you find all types of religion. All types of religious bodies are part of the World Council of Churches. So the World Council of Churches is not a Christian movement, all right? It is not only a Christian movement. Even those who are not Christians, because they have their religion, they are part of the World Council of Churches. And we said that last. And therefore, because you have a World Council of Churches which deals with religion, so this man who must become the world leader will also become the religious leader of all religions. And currently, we mentioned today that there's only one man on the face of the earth who is both a leader of a nation and a leader of the church. There's only one man today in this world, or one entity in this world, that has a man as a leader of both the state and as a leader of the church. All right, let me take this one. JCC says maybe because the American is also a colonial nation by history. Of course, and it is the United States. It is the most subtly colonialist, because it does things secretly. You will never think, because the United States, when they come to colonize, they say they are terrorists. They just say they're terrorists in that country, or they have nuclear bombs, or they have this. So the United States always comes as a savior to that nations, but really they are the destroyer of the nations. When they went to Iraq, they said there's war, there's Iran, I mean they're terrorists, they've got bombs, they've got massive weapon of destruction. They destroyed, they attacked the country. Afghanistan, they've got massive look, they have mass destruction weapons. They attacked. In Iran, they did the same thing. Iran has a nuclear plant, and we must get rid of that nuclear plant. So when the United States go to colonize a nation, they go in the name of peace, subduing the enemies of that nation, whereas the United States is the enemy of that nation. Are we together? All right. Fat Fox says America have one culture with many cultures. Yes, we are a colonial nation. Yes, the United States is a colonial nation. It till to this day it is still colonizing people. Till to this day. But you can never notice that because the United States appears as the pusher of democracy in all the world, but there's no democracy in the United States. Is it democratic for the United States to go to a sovereign state and capture the leader of that state without the permission of that state? So the United States flew planes in Venezuela, breaking the law, breaking international law. There is no democracy in the United States. The United States knows nothing about democracy. And many people don't believe that the United States can do what it is doing. It is doing it. It went to Iran, bomb Iran against democracy. So United States talks about democracy, but United States, it defines democracy. It defines democracy, and it tells you what is democratic and what is not democratic. So you can have democracy as long as you are not towing the line to the United States. It's not democracy. So democracy or being democratic, according to the United States, is to bow down to the United States. When you bow down to the United States, you follow the biddings of the United States, you are democratic. But as soon as you disagree with the United States, no matter how democratic you are in your country, no matter how perfect you are, the United States will come for you. So the United States is it's not about democracy. It's about total control and bowing down to the United States of America. It's all about that. All right, even lies. Okay, JCC, even lies goes. Don't know why, brother, following the law. All right. All right. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you guys. So, like I was saying, that there's only one man, masters of war. Hey, J. May, masters of war. The United States, indeed, they are masters of war. All right. Ramid D. Jochimi, welcome, Ramid, welcome, Ramid. Yes, at J. May, the United States are the masters of war, and they're very good at it, and they have excuse for it. You understand? Because they appear, the United States appear as these democracy-loving, peace-loving nations, but the United States is causing war everywhere in the world. We know that. We know that. We can see it even in Iran. We saw it in Venezuela. There is nothing good about the United States. We don't follow the law in the US. You tripping. All right, no, I get it. I get it. So there's only one man in the world today who has that experience, or one entity, that is the Roman Catholic Church. Who is the leader of the Roman Catholic Church? Who is the leader of the Roman Catholic Church? Somebody answer me. Who is the leader of the Roman Catholic Church? JCC, who having a good time. Who is the leader of the Catholic Church? Who is the leader of the Roman Catholic Church? At J. May says the Pope. Yes, the Pope is the leader of the Roman Catholic Church. Fat Fox says not the Pope. Yes, it's the Pope. The Pope is the leader of the Roman Catholic Church. Now, let me ask you this question. Who was the leader of the Roman Empire when the Roman Catholic Church was formed? Who was the leader of the Roman Empire? It depends when. From 538 AD, from 538 AD to 1798, who was the leader of the Roman Empire? No, J-May, not Jesus, not Jesus. Not Jesus. Remember, Rome has two stages in history. Rome has two stages in history. It is the Roman Empire without Christianity. We call it pagan Rome. When Rome was pure pagan, they did not worship God. They did not worship Alexander the Great. No, folks. Alexander the Great was the leader of Greece, Greece, the Third Empire, Greece. Michael Danger, that was the transition year. Yes, 538, it was the transition year. And who was the leader of both the Roman Catholic Church and the Roman Empire? One of the Caesars. At J-May, one of the Caesars. No, it was not one of the Caesars. Michael Danger from Pagan. Fat Fox. All right. Okay. J-May. At J-May, Fat Fox. John. No. JCC. No, not John. Not John. Do you know Constantine? No. Constantine is the first one who accepted Christianity, and he made a Sunday law forcing people to worship on Sunday. That is Constantine. But I'm talking about the man who was the leader of the nation. Not Justinian. It was the Pope. It was the Pope, Michael Danger. It was the Pope. It was the Pope. The leader of the Holy See, it was the Pope. The Pope was the leader of both church and state. The Pope was the leader of both church and state. It was the Pope. It was the Pope. Look at your history. It was the Pope. The Pope was made both the leader of church and state. Remember, you had in history, Rome was divided into 10, okay? You had the Visigoths, the Anglo-Saxon, the Franks, the Alemanni, the Burgundians, the Lombards, the Suevites, the Heruli, the Ostrogoths, the Vandals, and when the Roman Catholic Church or the Papacy took over, they destroyed the Vandals and the Ostrogoths and the Heruli. And when they destroyed these three nations, because, okay, let me take Michael Danger and JCC. JCC says John is the father of changing of Christianity, if not mistaken. John, you mean the Pope, John Paul Pope, or which are you referring to? Which John are you referring to, JCC? Michael Danger, Justinian declared himself a theologian in 538. All right, he did. Okay. Let's move with that line, Michael Danger. I think we're not far from the truth, Michael Danger. Let's take it from there. So Justinian declared himself a theologian in 538. So in 538, it was the beginning of the rulership of the papacy, the Roman Catholic Church. The Roman Catholic Church began to rule the entire world in 538 AD. Who is the leader of the Roman Catholic Church? Because the world was run and controlled by the Roman Catholic Church from 538 AD. From 538 AD, when the Romans made Christian an official religion, and anybody who was not following that Christianity according to the Roman Empire, this is where the day of worship was changed from the seventh day of the week, the Sabbath, Saturday, to Sunday. JCC says Pope John, all right? All right, what is that numer? The Roman figure. What is that number? What is that number? Is Pope John the what? Is Pope John the what? What is the Roman numerical there? Is Pope John the what? Michael Danger says it was the laws of Justinian that changed it from pagan. Yes, you correct. I agree with you. I agree with you. John, yes, is Pope John the what? Is that 2313 Pope John 13? That's the number I want, because there are a couple of John the Second. All right, says John the Second. You know, because the world from 538 AD, this is when the Roman Catholic Church was running the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire from 538 AD was controlled by the Roman Catholic Church, and the leader of that Roman Catholic Church was the Pope. And when we talk, the second, thank you, JCC. And when we talk about the Pope, we're not talking about an individual. We're talking about a system, because the position of the Pope, it's a position, okay? It's not one person. So when Pope dies, another Pope is installed. So the office of the Pope, it's a system. It's a systematic office, all right? It's not only one person. So from 538 the Roman Empire was led by the popes, all right? When this pope died, another one took the throne. When this pope died, another one took the throne. So from 538 AD, the Roman Catholic Church was the controller of the Roman Empire. Before the change, before 538, in fact, before 508, before 508, the Roman Catholic Church was led by the Caesars, like you are saying. The Roman was led by the Caesars, okay? The Roman Empire was led by the Caesars, the emperors, okay? But from 538, there was a transition. So the Roman Empire, which was led by the Caesars, by the emperors, it was the Roman Empire which we call pagan Rome. They did not claim Jesus. They did not claim God. They did not claim to worship God. They did not claim to be children of God. That's why we call it pagan Rome, okay? We call it pagan Rome because it did not associate itself with God or with religion of Christianity. But from 508 AD, this is when it began with the Constantine. It begins infiltrating Christianity. It began taking over Christianity. And when it took over Christianity, okay, let me take Fat Fox. Fat Foxy says, right, the Pope started legislating. Yes, the Pope started legislating Sunday law, started legislating worship, started legislation even the day of worship from 538. And from 538 AD, this is where many Christians were killed. All right? Many Christians were killed, lost their houses, lost their jobs, they were imprisoned, they were killed, fed to the lions. All right? From 538 BC, AD, 538 AD. No Pope in 538, military law. JCC, do your Do your research properly, JCC. I can tell you, go to history and look at the Vandals, Ostrogoth, Heruli. When were these nations finally rooted up? And who rooted them up? It was the papacy which destroys the Vandals, the Ostrogoth, the Heruli, because the Roman Catholic Church was now Christianizing the entire Europe. But these nations in Europe refused. The Heruls, the Ostrogoth, the Vandals refused to join in what the Pope was suggesting. And so the Pope used the military to wipe off all these nations, 3 of them. Go to your history. The Vandals, the Ostrogoth, the Heruli was removed, destroyed militarily by the Pope, by the papacy. Michael Danger says, after the sacking, JCC vigilance came before it was slavers. Yeah. You see, we are not talking about a regional war, a small war or over there. All right. Okay, this is another time where I ask you to please subscribe to the channel if you have not yet subscribed to the channel. Please subscribe to the channel and help us grow. And you are free to disagree, to share your own knowledge, to share your own understanding with us. Please do comment there and we will read your comments into the record. If you have information, if you think we are misleading you, please share your information. We are saying that in 538 AD, this was the beginning of the rule by the Roman Catholic Church, and specific Roman Catholic Church, okay? Specific Roman Catholic Church was now controlling the Roman Empire. The Pope was the leader of the Roman Catholic Church, and the Roman Catholic Church and the Pope was both the leader of the Roman Empire and the Roman Catholic Church. But now it was now a papal system. You can Google JCC, you can Google 538 AD and Roman Catholic Church. It will come up. The information will come up. Even go to the writings of the Roman Catholic Church. They will tell you that from 538 she made it a law that everybody should keep Sunday. Right? This is where Christianity was infiltrated and Christianity was changed to be what it is today by the Roman Catholic Church. All right? Remember, when the Roman Catholic Church took Christianity, it was not because the Romans or the popes or the whoever were the emperors, the Constantines of this world. It was not because they were converted. They saw Christianity as a danger to the Roman Empire because Christianity was taking over the world. Christianity was taking over the world, and the Roman Empire was the ruler of the world. So the Roman Empire saw Christianity as a danger to the kingdom of Rome. And that is when they decided to say, this Christianity is taking over the world and it has no leader. How does it move so fast? How does it take over the whole world without a leader? And then the Romans decided that they will infiltrate Christianity and install the Pope as the leader of Christianity. And that's what happened. In 538, the papacy or the Roman Catholic had already done destroying all nations that were opposing it in its mission. So by 538 AD, the last enemy of the Roman Catholic Church were the Vandals, and the Vandals were destroyed in 538 AD. And then after the destruction of the Vandals, then the Roman Catholic Church had no opposers, because all the enemies of the Roman Catholic Church were taken care of. They were killed, they were destroyed, they were wiped out. The entire nation of the Vandals was wiped out. All right? So this is what we're talking about. So we need to understand this history in order to understand the war that is currently happening in Iran. As the Roman Catholic Church destroyed 3 nations which were against what the Pope or the Roman Catholic Church was doing. So the Roman Catholic Church, as long the Vandals, as the Ostrogoths, as long the Heruli were in existence, it was impossible for the Roman Catholic Church to do what it needed to do, because the Vandals, the Ostrogoths, and the Heruli were refusing. They were opposed, they were against, they were fighting. So after they were removed, then the Roman Catholic Church was able to move with speed. And that is when we're saying, then from 538 AD to 1798, the leader of the Roman Empire, baptized Roman Empire, it was the Pope himself. Do you know Vatican City? Do you know the Vatican? Okay, Fat Fox says, that's what's wrong with the world divided by religion. Crazy. Of course, the world will, that's a powerful point, Fat Fox. That's a powerful point, because now we're going to have one world religion. And as we have one world religion, what the Roman Catholic Church did in the past, all the religions today combined, they're going to do that. They will force us to worship a certain way, to worship a certain day. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. And so many people will be killed, many lives will be destroyed, many nations will be destroyed, just like it is happening in Iran. Iran is not being destroyed because it did something wrong. Iran is not being destroyed because it has nuclear, or it has bombs, or it has weapons of mass destruction. It is destroyed because it is refusing the agenda which the United States is pushing. Israel was forced to be Muslim by the Persians as Iran. Okay, Israel was forced to be Muslim. What religion is in Israel? Which religion is in Israel? Which religion dominates Israel? Which religion dominates Israel? Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. Which religion? He doesn't know. Jewish. Okay. It's Jewish Christianity. It's Jewish Christian. Is Jewish and Christianity the same thing? Talk to me. Talk to me. Is Jewish and Christianity the same thing? They're not the same, all right? Okay, they're not the same. So why is it that many Christians, many evangelicals, they see Israel as the chosen nation of God, when Israel, many Christians, they claim that Israel is a Christian nation. And we know that Israel is not a Christian nation. Israel is not a Christian nation. Okay? Israel is not a Christian nation. Why? Okay, Israel was Christian before Muslim. Israel was never Christian. Israel was never a Christian nation. Israel as a nation, it was never Christian. You can take it from the New Testament. You never find Israel as a Christian nation. Remember, Christians, who is a Christian? A Christian is a follower of Christ. A Christian, yes, Cheryl Fisher. Cheryl Fisher, you're correct. The religion in Israel is Judaism. Okay? Fat folks, Jews and Christians are not the same. Exactly, that's the point. Jews and Christians are not the same. Jews and Christians are not the same. In Israel, you have Judaism, not Christianity. And a Christian, it's a, thank you, Cheryl Fisher. Thank you, Fat Fox. That is very correct. That is very correct. So why are Christians, especially in the United States of America, why are Christians supporting Israel and pretending that Israel is a Christian nation? Why is that? You have your John Haig, all right? You have your John Haig pushing Israel, pray for Israel. You have ministers in the United States which claims that if you don't pray for Israel, you are not a true Christian, all right? Where do they get that? Because Israel as a nation, they're not a Christian nation. In fact, I doubt even if 5% of the Jews in Israel are Christians. You have Judaism. Okay, if Israel is a Christian nation, why are Christians in Israel persecuted? Why are Jews who are Christians in Israel persecuted? When they find Christian Jews in Israel worshiping, why do these Jews destroy their place of worship, disturb their worship, and do all manner of things to the Christians in Israel? If Israel is a Christian nation, I'm sure if you go online, you can find the videos of the Jews disturbing a Christian gathering. Their own brothers who decide to be Christians, the same Jews attacks them. Israel was forced in 1935 to become Muslim. Israel forced in 1935 to become Muslim. Forced by who? Forced by who? Israel was never a Christian nation. It says Persian was Jews, not Israel. Israel was Christian first. These are facts. Okay, all right. Now we are talking about Israel as a nation, okay? We're talking about Israel as a nation. Okay, let's go to history. Let's go to history. So Christianity began, okay, the followers of Jesus Christ, they were called Christians, all right? They were called Christians first in Antioch. This is after 538. Not 538. This is after 34 AD. This is after 34 AD, after the stoning of Stephen, when the gospel was now taken in all the world. In Antioch, they saw the lives of the disciples, saw the life of the followers of Jesus Christ, and they said, these are Christians, all right? Did Israel, before this time, accept Jesus? We know that Israel as a nation rejected Jesus, okay? Rejected Christ. So how can they be what they rejected? Because if you say Israel was a Christian nation before, how did they become Christians when they rejected Christ? Can you become that which you rejected? Israel rejected Christ. He was crucified because the leaders in Israel rejected him, lied about him. They crucified him. They said he was planning to do an insurrection. They said that he wanted to topple the Roman Empire. MS Willis 663 says, God wants us to pray, not debate, nor argue. If you know God, in Jesus' name, let us repent. Now is the time to worship, watch, and pray. Your name is in the book of life. Stay blessed. The road is narrow. Listen, Miss at ms.willis, you are correct. You are correct. But God does not want us to be ignorant of the past. God does not want us to be ignorant of the history. We are dealing with history. You see, God does not want ignorant worshippers. God does not want careless worshippers. It even says those who worship him, they must worship him in truth and in spirit. So we are looking at truth here. Is it true that Israel was, as a nation, Israel as a nation was once a Christian nation? It is not true. So that is what we're dealing with, MS Willis. We are not arguing, we are not debating, we're not even fighting. We're sharing, we're looking at history. Fat Fox is not fighting, JCC is not fighting, Cheryl Fisher is not fighting, Abegam is not fighting. All the people that are discussing, are engaging. We are not fighting. In fact, it's not even debate. It's actually sharing information. So we understand, we love God, and we want to repent of all sins. But we cannot be ignorant of the history, because history repeats itself. History repeats itself. As a Christian, I am concerned when I see my fellow Christians being deceived that Israel is a Christian nation. I am disturbed. It doesn't sit well with me. It doesn't sit well with me when I see deception taking place and many Christians' monies are being taken in the name of supporting Israel. Israel as a Christian nation, whereas we know Israel is not a Christian nation. Debating is good for our souls. Faith folks, debating is good for our souls. All right. Agatabi, welcome, Agatabi. So this is the point that we're trying to make. There was never a point in time where Israel was a Christian nation. For Israel to be a Christian nation, it must become, is it before the crucifixion of Jesus? Is it before the death of Jesus or after the death of Jesus? When did Israel become a Christian nation? I can tell you for free that before the death of Jesus Christ, Israel was not a Christian nation, because Israel rejected Jesus Christ. They used the Roman soldiers, the Roman Empire, to crucify Jesus. This is where the Roman Empire becomes important, because the Roman Empire has 3 stages. All right. I am not a Christian, brother. First, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. You don't have to be a Christian. This is the point. You don't have to be a Christian, but you have to know the history. This is history. You don't have to be a Christian. You don't have to be a Christian. A lot of people in this podcast, they are not Christians, and we're not forcing anybody to be Christians. And this is not a platform for Christians. It's a platform for everyone. You don't have to be a Christian to take part in this. This is not a Christian platform. It's a platform for all who wants to discuss the events that are happening in the world today. All right. She says, I'm not a Christian, brother. I don't support Israel. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I agree with you. You're not a Christian. You don't support Israel. That's good. Okay. At MS Willis 663, she says, we are making history now. We are in the last days. Repent and focus on being chosen. I didn't say any of you were. I made a statement. God said, don't do it. Stay blessed, believers. Repent, watch, and pray. Thank you. Thank you. At ms.willis. If we misunderstood you, forgive us for misunderstanding you. But yes, we're gonna do our best to focus on being chosen and to believe in God and watch and pray and repent, for we are in the last days. Thank you, Miss MS Willis. Thank you so much for that counsel. All right, again. So if Israel is not a Christian nation, okay, now any nation can be chosen. Exactly. Any nation that believes can be chosen. In fact, it cannot be chosen. Any nation that believes is no longer, okay, God no longer deals with us as a nation today. God deals with us as individuals, right? There is no nation that we can say it's a chosen nation of God. No, God no longer deals with us as nations. He deals with us as individuals. All right. So there is no one country that is a chosen nation of God. If that were a case, in that country, I'm not Muslim, I'm not any religious. Thank you for your wisdom. Thank you, my brother. This is why at Fat Fox we can discuss, we can share what we know without being Christians, without being Muslim, without being any religion. This is not a religious podcast. This is a podcast where we share information of what we know, whether it be Christians, whether you are not a Christian, whether you believe in the Bible or you don't believe in the Bible. It does not matter which religion you are from. It does not matter whether you are religious or not religious. It does not matter. We all live in this earth, and we're all affected by what is happening on earth today. The war does not choose your religion. The war in Iran, it doesn't care whether you are Christian, Muslim, Buddhist. The war doesn't care. When the prices of oil increases, the oil prices will not choose whether you're a Christian, a Muslim, or what. It don't matter. When war comes in any nation, in any country, the missiles, the weapons of war, they don't choose, oh, we're going to fall whether Christians or we're going to fall whether no Christians. All of us are affected by the war that is taking place. That's why all of us needs to understand what exactly is going on, because the war won't choose. Hunger will not choose whether you are Christian or not a Christian. It won't choose. So let's come together. Let us talk. Christian or not Christian, it doesn't matter. Let us talk. Shelly, welcome, Shelly, welcome, Shelly. Welcome, Shelly. And this is the point where I ask you to please subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel. And so let's go back to what we're talking about, the Roman Catholic Church. The Roman Catholic Church, Hail have says, do you love white people? Do I love white people? What do you mean, do I love white people? What do you mean? Expand your question. Do you love white people? What do you mean, do you love white people? I can tell you I don't hate them, but what do you mean, do you love white people? Do you love them? Or do you love them or not? All right. Without understanding clear your question, I love them. I love them. Without understanding your question, I love them. If it is only centered on love, I love them. And yes, I love all races. I love them. I love them. I love Indians. I love all races. We love all races. Everybody under the earth. We love them. We love them. All right, love back to you, brother. Love back to you. Hail Halves, love back to you. Hail Have. We love everybody. We love everybody. And this thing of race, it's another cancer in our world today. It's another cancer in our world today, because some they feel superior than other people. I mean, we're just humans. We are just humans. Yes, we cannot ignore that they are black people, white people, Indian people, Chinese people. We cannot ignore the fact there are races, but are races supposed to divide us? Should we hate other human beings? I mean, behind the skin is blood. Behind the color is blood, is bones, is everything. All right. So the Roman Catholic Church was in control of the world for 1,260 years, from 538 AD. Okay, at Muhammad Balden, bro, what's your mission here? What's your name and where are you from? All right, please respond. All right, let me respond to Muhammad Balden. All right, says, what's your mission here? What's your name? Where are you from? All right, my mission here, let's begin with the mission. The purpose of the podcast is to discuss and unpack what is currently happening globally. What is currently happening globally. So currently we're dealing with the war in Iran. So we're looking at the war in Iran and looking at what the United States is doing in Iran. What is the purpose of attacking Iran? Because I believe, according to Project 2025 manual, the attack in Iran is so that the United States can eliminate the enemies of the United States. So in Project 2025, it says that Iran is one of the enemies of the United States' progress, security, and prosperity. So they must work it out. So the purpose of the podcast, when it comes to that mission, is to expose what is currently behind the scenes. All right. And then what's your name and where you from? All right, what's your name and where you from? The name is En. The name is N. It's N. It's En. The name is En. All right, En. What's your? And I'm from South Africa. And I'm from South Africa. I am from South Africa. I am from South Africa. So, all right. Right, and then the EN is the abbreviation of my name. EN is the those are the abbreviations of my name. EN. So I don't really like to talk about myself. I want to talk about the issues that are before us. I'm not sure if I answer you, Muhammad Belder. I'm not sure if I answer you, brother. If I did not satisfy you, please say so. All right, Charles Xavier. God, Allah made us different to get us to know each other. You are correct, Charles Xavier. God made us differently. Fat folks, his mission is education, respect. Fat folks, thank you. Education about what is happening. You are correct. Charles Xavier, unite the people, good versus evil. Nothing else should divide us. Exactly, Charles Xavier. Fat folks, China and Russia is what America really showing who has the power. Ooh, at Fat folks, that is the best. Fat folks, that is the best. China and Russia is who America is showing who has the power. Muhammad Belder, respect, bro. Thanks for enlightening me. You have answered me correctly. I love you and Nelson Mandela. South Africa are great people. Thank you, Muhammad Belder. So, and we respect Muslims in this podcast. We respect any religious body. We don't care which religion you are from. We talk about the global events. If it touches Islam, we talk about it. If it touches Christianity, we talk about it. We are not biased. We are not compromising. We talk things as it should be attended into. So I'm happy, my brothers. Where are you from, Muhammad Beldam? Where are you from? Because yesterday we had people from China, we had people from Iran, we had people from all over the world, from New Orleans, from Florida, from Canada, from London. We had people from all over the world yesterday. Where are you watching us from, Muhammad? If you can be able to share with us where you are watching us from. But thank you so much for joining us. And this is the point in time where I ask you to subscribe to the channel if you have not yet subscribed to the channel. All right, please do subscribe to the channel. Don't leave the channel without subscribing. Mohammed Belda says, I'm from West Africa, Gambia, and I'm Muslim, but I believe. Welcome from Gambia. Welcome from Gambia. Thank you so much for choosing us. Yes, you are Muslim, brother. You know that I mentioned it, okay? I mentioned it, all right? Kamalta says, Magnolia, Arkansas. Welcome, Kamaleta. Welcome, Kamaleta. I said it that when the World War III comes, when the World War comes, it will not care whether you are Muslim, whether you are Christian, whether you are an atheist. When the World War comes, it will not choose any religion. just like it will not choose any race. So we cannot allow race, to divide us. We cannot allow religion to divide us. What is important is get the truth, all right? Let's get the truth of what the world is doing, of what the powers that be are doing. You will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. You will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. And the truth about the war is to bring about one world religion and one world government. That is the truth about the war. And when the world has been united into one thing, the man who once controlled the world, the man who once controlled all religion, the Pope, will be given the power once again, because the Pope is the only man in the world who has that experience of leading both church and state. And the Pope is the only man in the world with the experience of controlling the church and state. And therefore, this is why the Roman Catholic Church is important to what is happening. Today, we know the Pope is the only man, is the most powerful man in the world. I said it that the Pope is not an individual. The Pope is an office occupied by an individual. There have been many popes, but the agenda of the popes has always been the same, because the Pope is an office occupied by an individual. That's why when Pope Francis died, another Pope came into office. There was another Pope before Pope Francis, Benedict, John Paul. They all die, but the office of the Pope remains. All right. Okay. Charles Xavier says, I have to go. There's a documentary called The Arrivals. It exposes everything they're doing. Good night, everyone. Good night to you, Charles Xavier. Good night to you, and thank you for tuning in. Don't go without subscribing. Subscribe before you leave. Subscribe, Xavier. Thank you so much. Bernard Souza. Welcome, Bernard Souza. Calendar Man. Welcome. Where in the Bible do you have a pope? Oh, all right. He says, where in the Bible do you have a pope? All right, we're going to answer that, Calendar Man. Knox Francis, God morning, man of God. Good morning, Knox Francis, and welcome. Those of you who are leaving, please don't leave without subscribing. Subscribe first and then leave. All right. All right. Where in the Bible do you have a pope? I'm going to answer that shortly. Where in the Bible? In the Bible, you do not have the pope in the Bible. All right. But you have the Bible talking about the pope. All right. You have the Bible telling us about the existence of the pope, or telling us about, remember, the Pope cannot exist without a system. All right. So the Pope cannot exist outside the system. So the Bible tells us about the system. And this system is identified in the Bible as the system of the man of sin, or as the system of the Antichrist, or as the system of the mark of the beast. All right. All right. So it's a system. All right. And this system in history has been identified as the Roman Catholic Church system, not the individuals in the Roman Catholic Church, but the system of the Roman Catholic Church is what fits the description of what the Bible says. The Bible says this system will have a man, and the man, this man in this system will be a leader of both the church and state. And this man will claim to be God. And this man will have a blasphemous name. So those are the identifying marks of the system. It's a system that is both, it is a system that has united church and state. It is a system that has a man as the leader, and this man speaks for the system, and this man has a blasphemous name, and this man's name adds up to 666, and this man will think to change with this man or this system will think to change times and laws of God. So the Bible tells us how to identify the system. And in that system, there must be a man who claims to be God. And this man must have a blasphemous name. And this system must both control church and state. And you can look to all nations of the world. There's only one system in the world that fits the description that the Bible gives. And that system is the Roman Catholic Church system. Fat Fox says the USA was not in Rome times. The US ain't going for that. Well, the US was not, the USA, the United States of America as a nation, it did not exist during the Roman Empire's first stage. When Roman Empire was pagan, the United Nations did not exist. The United States of America begins to exist during the second stage of the Roman Empire, which is papal power, the papacy. When the Pope became the leader of the Roman Empire and also became the leader of the Roman Catholic Church, and Christians were persecuted for refusing to worship according to the Pope or according to the Roman Catholic Church. You'll remember your Martin Luther, you'll remember your Zwingli, you'll remember history has no blank pages. You'll remember your Martin Luther, your all the pioneers who rejected the Roman Catholic Church teachings, the Roman Catholic Church doctrines. These are the people who began to leave Europe and ended up in the United States. And because they didn't Brute Facts says, is this Al Jazeera History Channel? Well, this is not Al Jazeera History Channel, but definitely we are doing some history lessons. Definitely we are doing some history lessons, right? We are definitely doing some history lessons. And welcome to you, Brutal Facts. Welcome to you, Brutal Facts. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, Fat Fox says, I'm saying the USA ain't gonna let nobody coming in to control shit in the American people ain't going for that. Yes, correct, correct. The United States will not allow anybody to control the United States. That's why the United States is not dancing to the United Nations. That's why the United States is not part of the ICC, the International Criminal Court, because the United States of America will not allow anybody to detect to it. But the United States of America is detecting to all nations. The United States of America is detecting to all nations. And this is the point you are making. History shows us that no country at any point ever detected to the United States of America. Only Israel. Only Israel is telling the United States of America what to do. Only Israel. And ask yourself, why Israel? Why Israel is able to control America? Ask yourself that. Because United States of America is in the war, is engaging in a war with Iran because of Israel. Rubio told us last week that the only reason United States is in war, is bombing Iran, it's because Israel forced the hand of the United States of America. He even said the United States had no plans to bomb Iran, and they still did not have plans when the bombing is happening. So you are correct, fat folks. The United States will not be controlled by any country, but Israel is controlling the United States, because the United States and Israel, it's one and the same thing. If you were to say Israel is the headquarters of the United States, Israel is the headquarters of the United States, because whatever Israel wants, the United States will do it. Now, let me ask you a question. Why is every veteran in the United States, or a soldier who is against Israel, is being disciplined? Do you know that anyone who refuses to go and fight for Israel in the United States, they face some serious danger? Why you cannot in the United States of America openly reject Israel without being followed by the FBI or CIA or whatever that they're going to choose to use? Why is it that in the United States of America, you cannot openly reject Israel? Now, let's go back to history. Why was Charlie Kirk assassinated? Why was Charlie Kirk assassinated? Why was Charlie Kirk assassinated? All along, Charlie Kirk was friends with Israel. All along, Charlie Kirk was supporting Israel. Talking about anti-Semitism, right? Saying that you just hate the Jews, you just hate the Jews. But the day Charlie Kirk's eyes were opened and he saw Israel for what it is, what happened to Charlie Kirk? Fat Fox says, we openly reject Israel. That's not true. It's freedom of speech. It's freedom of speech in America. You are correct, Fat Fox. The question is, what happens to those who openly reject Israel? Those who have influence, when they reject Israel in the United States of America, what happens to them? Are they free? Are they free? Remember, there is democracy in America, but as long as you toe the line. You understand what happened to Charlie Kirk? Why was Charlie Kirk assassinated? Why was Charlie Kirk assassinated? Why? The world needs to wake up and open their eyes. Fruitful brother. Of course, welcome, fruitful brother. The world needs to wake up and open their eyes. Charlie Kirk was the friends of Israel. Charlie Kirk was the friends of the J.D. Vance, of Trump, of everybody. Charlie Kirk was behind, rallying the youth behind Donald Trump. Charlie Kirk was pro-Israel. But the moment Charlie Kirk started questioning Israel, the moment Charlie Kirk began to say, why are we bombing Gaza? Why are we bombing Palestine? Why are we killing Palestine? The moment Charlie Kirk started questioning, why is it that the Jews are the ones behind pornography? When Charlie Kirk started questioning the stance of Israel in this whole things that is happening, and he began to say Israel, pointing finger at Israel, that is when Charlie Kirk was assassinated, destroyed. It is because Charlie Kirk had more influence to young people than anyone. TP, Turning Point USA, had influence amongst young people. And as soon as Charlie Kirk changed his narrative, a lot of young people in the United States of America would then follow Charlie Kirk. And Israel and United States will lose the narrative. So they killed him to silence He is questioning. They kill him to silence everyone who was waking up to the delusion that Israel is some kind of glorious land, some kind of holy people, some kind of holy nation, or Israel is being hated by people because Israel is a chosen nation of God. That is why Charlie Kirk was assassinated. Pardon me. That is why Charlie Kirk was assassinated by Americans, by Israel using Americans. All right. I don't have no intake. Fat folks, nobody in the USA follow Charlie Kirk unless they want this small, they want a small percentage. Yeah, listen, no, listen, but if you got 5 million people behind Charlie Kirk, if you have 5 million young people behind Charlie Kirk, that is a huge number. That is a huge number. More than 5 million young people following Charlie Kirk, Turning Point USA, that is a huge number. Of course, remember, the audience of Charlie Kirk are Christians. And Charlie Kirk was beginning to say, Israel is not what we think as Christian it is. And because Charlie Kirk had influence among Christians, and he was now beginning to say, Israel is not exactly what we think it is. We might have been deceived when it comes to Israel. And because the audience of Charlie Kirk are Christians, they had to remove him before he could influence Christians. Are you understand that? Are you understanding that? Are you getting that? So this is why you are saying, according to the system, once you do what the system doesn't want you to do, once you talk about what the system doesn't want people to know, you become a target to the system. And this is what Iran is suffering, because Iran is refusing to dance to the system. And since Iran is refusing to dance to the system, Iran is facing the war today. China is refusing to dance to the system. China will soon face. Venezuela refused to dance to the system, and the president was captured. Russia refuses to dance to the system. Russia will be dealt with. North Korea is refusing to dance to the system. Pretty soon, North Korea, according to Project 2025, North Korea will be dealt with. A day before yesterday, Trump was saying Cuba is becoming a problem. And Trump hinted that they may topple the leader in Cuba. They may go to Cuba and do what they did in Venezuela. Well, you say, Charlie Kirk, it's a non-factor in the USA. Brother, Faith Fox, he is not a non-factor to Christians, young Christians, youth. To the Christian youth in the USA, Charlie Kirk is not a non-factor. To other religions, yes, he's a non-factor to Muslims. He's a non-factor to Buddhists. He's a non-factor to Hindus. But he's not a non-factor to young Christians in the United States. He's not a non-factor to young Christians in the United States. You'll remember that Charlie Kirk was going university to university in the United States, engaging young people. So those who claims to be Christians, those who profess to be Christians in the United States, they are familiar with Charlie Kirk. All right. Michelle Miner, 5840, maybe not that, but these people have been cursed throughout history and the worlds. All right, egregious evildoers. All right, I get you. But guys, do we really know the true enemy? Or I should not say the true enemy at this time. Do you know what is the end game of all these powers? What is the end game of all the wars that we see? Because that is the elephant in the room. That is what we need to deal with. That is what we need to identify. What is the end game of all of this? And this is what we are trying to explain here at All Things Podcast. We are trying to come to the conclusion to say all this is happening because the end goal is this. All right? What is the end goal of the war? What is the end goal of the war? What do they want to achieve with the war? All right? What is the end goal of the war? You have many organizations in the world. You've got World Health Organization. What is the end goal of the World Health Organization? You have the United Nations. What is the end goal of the United Nations? You have the BRICS nations. What is the end goal of the BRIC nations? You have the G7. What is the end goal of the G7? World Economic Forum. What is the end goal of the World Economic Forum? The end goal is one world government, one world government, one world economy, one world education, one world system, one world health system. The end goal is that no nation is gonna be independent. All nations, we must have one constitution. That is the end goal of all this. Because why do we need what do you call it? Who? What do we call who? I just said it now, but I forgot it. Who? WHO, World Health Organization. Why do you need a World Health Organization? The health problems in Africa are not the same as in Europe or in the United States of America. Why do you have this? Why do you want to control the health of people all over the world? Why must one person, one individual, one organization be the voice of health in the entire world when we have different health crises? The health crises in Africa are not the same, even in the countries, in the continent of Africa. We are not dealing with the same health crisis. All right? The health crisis in China are not the same as the health crisis in the United States. In other words, Chinese will best deal with the health crisis in China. Africans will best deal with the crisis, the health crisis in Africa. Why do you have all these organizations controlling the health of everybody in the world? COVID-19 showed us that the health system is controlled by one organization, World Health Organization. COVID-19 showed us that they even decide who gets the vaccines and who doesn't get the vaccines. And COVID-19 showed us that even health crisis is used to get people to follow certain laws of the world. So the end goal is to bring everyone into one umbrella, is to have one system, one global system. That is the end goal. And when we have this one global system, we must have one global leader, right? And we must have one banking system, digital system. This is why we are going to digital banking, digital IDs, digital, and we're smiling. Oh, the world is improving. We have digital ID. The world is improving. But as the world improves, what is the end goal? Fat Fox says, so I agree with the USA, this my country. I love my accessories and my commodities. My brother, I also agree and love the United States. I love USA. I love everything. All right? But can we be blinded by our love for the USA not to see what is happening? I love USA. All right? I love United States of America. I love America. All right, I love America. I love that land of the United States of America. Okay, but can I ignore what is happening? It is not that we hate United States of America. We don't hate it. We love it. And we, in fact, we don't even undermine United States of America. We know how powerful it is. Military, powerful. Financially, powerful. There is no aspect in which the United States is lacking. The United States does not lack in anything. Best doctors, best medicine, best everything. All right? It has the best of the best. It's a powerful nation. Anyone who claims that the United States is just a small nation there which doesn't matter, that person is a fool. Any individual who claims the United States of America it's nothing, just a loud mouth, that person is a fool. You don't know the United States of America. You don't know the history of the United States. How can a fool destroy serious countries like Syria? How can the fool destroy serious powers like Libya? Libya was a serious power. Who destroyed it? America. Who destroyed Iraq? America. Who destroyed Afghanistan? America. Who destroyed or destroying Venezuela? America. Who is destroying Iran? America. How can a loudmouth country, how can a stupid country led by a stupid person, a stupid president, do such destruction in the world? Impossible. America is not a stupid country. America is not a stupid nation. America is a powerful nation. Listen, you may not like Donald Trump. You may not understand Donald Trump, but what Trump is doing is following a script. So you may say Trump is the dumbest president ever. You may not like Donald Trump. You may undermine Donald Trump. But whatever Donald Trump is doing it on behalf of America. So when you see the actions of Trump, those are the actions of United States of America. So when you look at the actions of Trump and say stupid, foolish, imbecile, delinquent, you are simply saying America delinquent because Donald Trump is acting on behalf of the United States of America. I will stay blind as long we comfortable. I'm sorry. Fat folks, man. All right, welcome all of you who have just joined us. Please, before you leave, subscribe to the channel. Don't leave without subscribing to the channel. We are talking about the United States of America and the war in Iran. And I'm simply saying to those of you who think the United States of America is a foolish country led by a foolish president, you don't understand the United States of America. It's a superpower. All right? It's a superpower. As much as Israel is controlling America, America is a superpower. In other words, ask yourself, why is Israel able to control this superpower? It's because the United States is controlled by the Jews. It's run by the Jews, run by the Jesuit, the Freemason, the Illuminati. All those people run the United States of America. Those organizations, they run the United States of America. And they have a script as to how the United States of America must control the entire world. Every president who comes in must follow the script. Just like in the Roman Catholic Church system, you have the Pope. Every Pope who comes in must follow the agenda that has been given to the Pope. So every president which comes in the United States of America must follow the script. The script writers are powerful. I'm sorry, but if it was your nation, you didn't have no concern ruling the world. You gotta do things others won't do. Listen, my brother, I'll be happy if my nation was controlling the whole world. I'll be happy. I'll be happy if my nation was controlling the whole world. If my nation was a superpower, I'll be happy. Just like I'm happy the United States is able to do this. I'm happy. I'm happy. And I'm looking at the end goal. What is the end goal of this power that the United States have, of this power that the United States is exercising? The United States of America is exercising power like no one's business. All right? The United States of America knows that it will need Israel in future. Okay, fruitful brother says the key word is but. The keyword is but. So as much as the United States is controlling power like it is controlling power. All right. Ismail Nimpore says, all things, where are you from? I am in South Africa. I am in South Africa. I am in South Africa. All right. Fed Fox says, taking over the trap. We know war comes behind it. So we do things the next man gotta have a heart for. Exactly, exactly. And that is the mind, and that is the mentality and the attitude of the United States of America. That is the mind and the attitude of the United States of America. It goes, it conquers, it controls, it subdues. That is the United States of America. And that is why I'm saying, let us look at the United States, the character of the United States and what it does. It goes to any nation. It goes to any nation, it subdues it, it conquers it, it controls it. The United States never engages in a war which the outcome is not to take over that nation. Whenever the United States of America goes to war, it's because it wants to subdue that nation or that country. All right. Ismilani Poro says, but not South Africa, right? Your home country is. Ole, listen, in South Africa, in Africa, South Africa is the only country without a proper name. So the proper name of South Africa, it's a country in South Africa, in south of the African continent. But the name of our country is South Africa, the Republic of South Africa, RSA, South Africa. My home country is South Africa. South Africa, the famous South Africa. The famous South Africa. Fats Fox, what did you just say, Werner? What did you just say, brother? Nah, what? Woo! I did not see that coming, brother. I did not see that coming. Marshall Miner, welcome back, Marshall Miner. Fat Foxy, what did you just say? What did you just say, Fat Foxy? I'm saying, let us look at the history of the United States of America. Did the United States of America ever engage in a war with a nation, and the purpose of that war was not to topple the leadership and take control of that nation? Is there any country in which the United States of America engaged in a war or attacked, and the purpose was not to dominate that country or that nation? Show me one nation in which the United States bombed, attacked, and the purpose was not to subdue, control that nation. You will not find one. The purpose, whenever the United States of America goes into war, is to control that nation. Name them: Afghanistan, Iraq, Libya, Syria, Venezuela, now Iran. All these countries, it's about control. It's about control. That's why in the beginning I said the United States of America is the most powerful nation under the sun. That is the truth. There is no China. America recognizes China as the second powerful nation after the United States of America. And the United States is saying we will not allow China to be equal to us. We will not allow China to be equal to us, because as soon as China is equal to us, China may wipe us, may be able to stand against us. So we must make sure that China never reach the level where it becomes equals to us. And that is history. And that is what is currently happening. All right? All right. Please subscribe to the channel. Don't leave without subscribing to the channel. Don't leave without subscribing to the channel. So what is the end goal? Why is the United States of America warring against nations? What is the what does the United States of America seek to achieve? On whose behalf is the United States gaining all this power? On whose behalf is the United States of America gaining all this power? On whose behalf? Who will use this power that the United States of America is busy gathering or acquiring? Who at the end is going to use this power? And for what purpose? This is what we are telling you here at All Things Podcast, that the end game is for a one world government and a one world religion, because America, according to prophecy, is the sixth world power. And then after the United States of America, we are going to be in the power of the United Nations. And what the United Nations needs to do, it's one thing. The United Nations, they must choose a leader who will unite all nations, both religiously and government-wise, nation-wise. So this leader must be able to by all religious bodies. All right? He must be, this leader that the United Nations needs to elect, he must be able to be loved by all religious bodies. And he must be able to be loved by all nations of the world, all the leaders, all world leaders. And today, as we speak, there's only one man who is loved by all religious leaders and respected by all nations. One man. Marshall Miner says, cursed by the Creator, a perverse leader, for a perverse people, a gift from the Creator. Listen, today there is only one leader who is respected by all countries, by almost all countries, respected by almost all nations. There is only one leader. There is only one leader today who is feared and respected by all religious bodies. Leader is the Pope. Ismailini Pore says, are you an international political analyst? Yes, international political analyst. Well, I did not call myself international political analyst, but I think from today I can use that title. Thank you, Ismailini Pore. Thank you. From today, I'm writing it down. I'm going to use it as one of my intros. International political analyst. What? That's powerful. That's powerful. Thank you, Ismail. I am an international political analyst, international religious analyst. That's what. Woo! Fire. Woo! All right, yeah. So I am an international political analyst. I did not see that coming. Yeah, but I'm doing that. I'm analyzing political events that are happening globally, and also analyzing religious events that are happening globally. So yes, I am an international political analyst. Thank you. I am stealing that now. I hope it is not copyright. It is not copyright. I am an international political analyst. Ismaila, why are you concerned with external matters while your country has a lot to deal with politically, socially, and economically? Well, that's a powerful question. That is a powerful question, Ismaila Mpore. Now, the reason I'm concerned about the international politics, right, is this. It's because there is a plan. Number one, okay, let me revert before I go to a plan. It's because prophecy in the Bible told us in Daniel chapter 7 that there's gonna be 7 world kingdoms, okay? 7 world superpowers, okay? There will be 7 world superpowers which will rule the earth. And then after the 7 world superpowers, the end of the world will come. And when you look in the Bible, the first superpower was Babylon. The second was the Medes and the Persians. The third was Greece. The fourth one was the Roman Empire. The fifth one was the Roman Catholic Church, the Roman Empire led by the Roman Catholic Church. And after the Roman Catholic Church controlling the Roman Empire, the next powerful kingdom is the United States of America, or the next powerful nation. It is the United States of America. This is why I'm interested in this politics globally, because I look at the scriptures, I look at what the Bible says, and I can follow from history what happened. So according to prophecy, the United States of America is superpower number 6. All right. So because United States of America, according to prophecy, is superpower number 6, world superpower number 6, I am interested in what this superpower is doing. And because the United States of America will lead us to the last superpower. And when we see the last superpower, this is where it says there will be the mark of the beast, or the Antichrist movement. So I cannot see this and keep quiet. And the reason I cannot keep quiet is because I need the world to see what I see as I do my analysis. I need the world to see what is happening. That is why I am interested in what is happening. So in my country, there are political things, social things, economical things happening, but it's they are not part of prophecy. My country is not part of prophecy. The United States is part of prophecy. So when it comes to global events, the United States plays a serious role. That is why I'm interested in following the global politics, because I'm following prophecy. And this is why I say it does not matter whether you're a Christian or not a Christian. It does not matter whether you believe in the Bible or don't believe in the Bible. What prophecy has prophesied is happening exactly. And the United States of America is simply fulfilling that prophecy. And I'm following that prophecy, looking at what the United States is doing. That's why I'm saying, what is the end game of the United States of America? So that is why I'm interested in Milan. His platform, he can talk about what he wants. Okay, all right, thank you. Thank you, Fat Fox, fruitful brother, someone of to be concerned about the rest of the world. All right, remember, the world. Now, another reason why I'm concerned about what is happening in the world is because of the United Nations. It's because of these organizations which becomes global powers. The United Nations, my country is part of the United Nations. South Africa is part of the United Nations. South Africa is part of the World Health Organization. So my country is part of these world organization bodies. And so I need to look, why is my country part of this? And as I discover that my country is part of this, and I look at the agenda of these organizations, then I see that these organizations, they want us to have one system at the end of the day. So that is why we're interested in finding out what is happening. So our analysis moves from being a national analysis to a global analysis because it touches other countries. So this is why we are not focusing on our country, but we are focusing on the global things that are happening. I hope I answer you, Ismailin Pore. I heard you, Mr. Speaker. You did a good job. No, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So this is why we're looking at what is happening currently. So, but I want to thank you, Ismailin Pore. I want to thank you because now I'm going to introduce myself as the international political analyst. Thank you for giving me that line. Thank you for giving me that line. So what is the end game? What is the end game of all this power that the United States is gathering? The end game is to give us a leader who will be the leader of the world. So I think tomorrow I will deal with that. What is the end game of this global organization? Global organizations. What is the end game of this global organization? That's what we're going to deal with. I want to thank you all. Please subscribe to the channel before you leave. Subscribe to the channel before you leave. Don't go without subscribing. This is a global podcast. We are new. It's a global podcast with a global audience. You can see from our audience, it's a global audience, okay? It shows that we are dealing with global events. So please subscribe to the channel before you leave. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button, please. Help us to grow. We moved from 200. Last time I checked, we were sitting on 349 in just a couple of days. Please help the channel grow. Be one of the people who will make us reach a larger audience in the world, analyzing the international politics, analyzing the international religions. What is happening? What is happening in the world? Thank you for tuning in. Subscribe to the channel. Tomorrow we'll be dealing with what is the end game of this war. What is the end game? Why are these leaders of the world using war? And what do they want to achieve using this war? Because it's more than what meets the eyes. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a lovely evening to those of you who are sleeping. Have a lovely day to those of you who are beginning your day. It's a global network. So some to some it's day, to some it's evening, to some it's midnight, to some it's morning. Evening to all of you. Good morning to all of you. Afternoon to all of you. Have a great day. Have a great day. Let's meet tomorrow, same time, 10 o'clock South African time. I don't know what time in your area, but let's meet again tomorrow. Subscribe to the channel. Don't leave without subscribing. Thank you, Fat Joe. Thank you, Ismila. Thank you, Cynthia. And welcome, Cynthia. I just want to thank you, Ismilan Pore. Thank you, Fruitful Brother. Thank you, Fat Fox. Thank you, JCC. Thank you, Michelin Miner. Thank you to all who were part of this podcast, who were commenting. Thank you, Jilex Aursu. Thank you, Xavier. Thank you to all of you, and thank you to the 43 people who are still watching. Thank you for choosing us. Thank you, Brutal Facts. Thank you, Brutal Facts. Thank you, Calendar Man. Thank you, Bernard Souza. Thank you, Charles Xavier. Thank you, Mohammed Belder. Thank you all for tuning in. It's a lot of you. I cannot mention all of you, but thank you all for tuning in. Please subscribe to the channel. Don't leave without subscribing. Don't leave without subscribing. That's it from me, the international political analyst, the international political dissector. Thank you for tuning in. Charles Xavier says they want one currency. Every continent will have its own currency. Eventually, one currency. When American dollar collapses, it will become all right. They do want one currency. Yes, they do want one currency. Well, we'll even talk about that tomorrow. One currency, one all that. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Have a good time. Blessings. My time. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you. Bye. Lovely day, lovely night, lovely evening to all of you.